So Tom, this is a place you know well. Does it feel like coming home for you?
Yes, it does. It's exactly how it feels. I think for me to have the opportunity to come back here after spending 13 great years here as a kid, it's an incredible feeling, and I'm really excited to get started.
In 2010, when you left us, you could have signed a new contract here, but you decided to go elsewhere, get first team football. Looking back now, how pleased are you with that very tough and very brave decision, considering your progress?
Yeah, it feels like the right decision. I knew at the time it felt right. It wasn't easy, having been part of the club for so long, and how much care I had for the football club. But it was the right decision, and looking back, it sort of justified it. I'm coming here now with a lot more experience, different experiences, a lot more security in what I'm about, and my goalkeeping ability, and having practical experience. I look back at it as the right decision, even though at the time it wasn't the easiest one.
Yeah, speaking of not easy decisions, telling Sir Alex, I imagine, would have been tough to say that you want to depart. How was he at the time, and how has his support been since?
It's been brilliant. At the time, as a young lad and been there for so long and having such a good relationship with him, and the time and effort that the football club had given me, I could understand his frustration, I think. But he accepted it. I've said many times that a couple of weeks later, I had me back in the office and said that he was always there for me, which he has been. I've come across him a few times since. As ever, you always stand up a little bit taller whenever you come across him, and he's been fantastic. So to sort of have that sort of blessing, if you like, after I'd gone, it felt vindicated.
United DNA is something you know about, something you are. How important has that been in your career so far?
Yeah, we've already said it feels like I'm coming home. I think it really has. The upbringing I was given here was second to none. It was the best in the world at the time, football education. But beyond that, it was there was looking after the people as well, and making sure people were doing things properly. That was a massive part of it. The biggest thing for me, the biggest part of the Manchester United DNA is winning. But there are a few factors in there. You look at the youth players that have come up and played, the way they play football, how they handle themselves. It's all part of the Manchester United way. It's played a massive part in my life so far, and to be back here and be part of it again, it feels incredible.
When you were here at Old Trafford initially, you went out on several loan spells. How important is that for a young keeper to go out and learn your trade, basically?
Yeah, there's no sort of substitution for it, really. To get that practical experience week in, week out, there are things you can't really get taught unless you go through it. You can have all the technical and physical ability that can be given, but beyond that, you need to know how to handle situations, your decision making under pressure, when it really matters. When I left here, I'd had sort of 8 or 9 loan spells. They'd all given me a different experience, and gives you a real good platform to then go and step on the next part of my career, which was exactly how I looked at it. But in general, for goalkeepers, that loan experience and getting that match experience when it really matters is vital, really, and it needs to be done.
Burnley is a football club we have close ties with here at United. Obviously, you played there. How key has Burnley and Sean Dyche been in your development and in your career?
Yeah, massive. Again, it was another move that for me felt right. My dad was born in Burnley, so there was a little bit of family history to it. Again, it felt similar to how this feels now. It felt just right at the time. I had 6 brilliant years there under Sean Dyche, and he was brilliant all the way through. I still have a fantastic relationship with him now. It was a real successful period for me, and gave me a real stable sort of time, and allowed me to play a lot of games. Got back to the Premier League for me in that era, which was an aim of mine when I first left the football club here. I look back on it with fond memories, and really enjoyed it.
And there were some performances for Burnley against us where you played out of your skin at Old Trafford, particularly that game where you saved the shot from Zlatan. You must take encouragement from those performances.
Yeah, I think so. I've been asked about it quite a few times over the years, but for me there was never any difference in the preparation. I think you can't get away from the history with the football club, how I growing up here. So I imagine there was some sort of uplift in adrenaline walking out at Old Trafford. But there was nothing different that I did, nothing different, didn't go about it any differently. But I will say that I did enjoy some of the performances that I put in. It was just one of those things that seemed to land right on the day. And yeah, great moments, especially having the history here.
Ollie had some great words to say about you after the game in 2019, the 2-2 draw. How encouraging was it to hear that from your now boss?
Yeah, brilliant. I always had a fantastic relationship with him. When he was playing, and I was coming up through the academy. And again, when he turned into reserve team manager, the sort of tail end of me being involved with the reserves, he was great then. So, yeah, to fast forward the clock a little bit and to be walking off the pitch at Old Trafford and to have some real great words from him, and now be playing for him. A little bit surreal, but as I say, the excitement is difficult to put into words how it feels at the moment.
You said there about Ollie from his time as manager with the reserves. He's now in charge of the football club. Did you see those signs then that he was going to go on to be a great manager?
Yeah, I did actually. Obviously, I had him as a manager for the reserve, so I see very early on in his career, of course, as a manager. But I could see the signs then in terms of how he went about it. How he set the team up, his man management skills. But before that, even as a player, the words of advice to all young lads, me especially, I'll never forget about him pulling me to the side once and saying about, the summer's not a time to have off. As a young player making his way in the game, it's a time to kick on when everyone else is taking it easy. You've got an opportunity to get an advantage on other people, and it stayed with me that through the years. So I usually only give myself a couple of weeks off over the summer and then start working, and it was something that he drilled into me. I was probably 18, 19 at the time. And yeah, it stayed with me. So no, I'm not surprised that he's gone on to do what he's done and do what he's doing at the moment. I think it was always a path he was likely to take.
So this move for you from Villa, with your contract expiring, how did it come about? Because there must have been plenty of interest in you.
Yeah, it was a strange time. I had a really good spell at Aston Villa. It's a fantastic football club. The first 20 games, unfortunately. With a relatively seriously injury, coming back fit, but Martinez coming in and playing fantastically well. Opportunities were limited at the back end of last season, but that's part of football. Your contract runs out, you sort of have a decision to make. You weigh different things up, but I think as soon as I heard there was interest from what feels like my club, really, especially having spent so much time here, it's results that I first looked for. So, it was a no-brainer for me.
And have you spoke to Ollie? What has he said to you about your move?
Yeah, I've had a couple of conversations with him so far. He's looking forward to getting started, of course, in the new season and what have you. Looking forward to having me on board, and I'm as I say, I'm looking forward to hitting the ground running. I feel great at the minute. I feel in great shape. I'm looking forward to coming in and compete with the other goalkeepers. I've firmly got my eyes set on trying to get into the team. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting started on that journey. Yeah,
as you hinted at there's plenty of familiar faces, players and staff that here at the football club, so you must be itching to get going.
Yeah, that's right. There's plenty of faces that are still the same. Amazing really, and probably a good mark of the football club about the longevity of the staff, people that know the club inside out. Of course, there's plenty of players that I've played with in the dressing room, so I've spoken to them a few times. But yeah, for me, I'm just seeing it as a fantastic opportunity. I still feel like I've got an awful lot to give, and I've got the bit between my teeth, and yeah, it can't come quick enough. Yeah, and what are your aims then for this second spell at United? I'm looking forward to coming in to compete. My ambition is to get into the side. That's never been any different. I left the football club to go and in search of first team football to go and get that experience. I'm coming back here now. With a lot more experience. It's been I think it's been 11 years since I left, so it feels like a long time. But I've gathered different things as it's gone, and I come back here now. Looking to get into the side. I can't put it any way. Of course, I'll do things properly. We've got some fantastic goalkeepers at the club. David, Dean, Lee Grant, Nathan Bishop, a host of young goalkeepers that are all good. And as I say, I can't wait to get started with that group and get going. But it's certainly what I've got my eyes on, and yeah, that's what we'll see how it goes. Yeah, and just finally then, you must be desperate to put the red shirt on. It's been a while since you've worn it, and prove to yourself and to everybody else what you can do. That's right. You know, it certainly feels part of unfinished business, and yeah, it's that's the aim, that's the dream. You do that through hard work, day in, day out, and that's what we plan on doing.
Tom, good luck, welcome home, good to have you back.
Cheers, thanks very much.